I'll break the AIA.
No, that's all right.
All right,
Raw.
we'll go right to Colliers.
Okay, thank you. So construction update, that's this page here. We'll start off with recent activity since we last met. So for phase one site work, they started excavating for the stormwater infiltration system. That's along Maximilian Drive there in front of the new addition. And for phase one building addition work, they continued on with foundation install. It's looking like they'll be done with foundations in the next couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. The masons started installing the CMU blocks that are installed along the foundation wall. Kind of serves as a shelf for the exterior material, whether it's brick or metal siding material. And the plumber mobilized yesterday to start underground plumbing at the building addition. For phase one kitchen renovation, they finished off the temp wall that separates the kitchen reno from the occupied calf, and they started asbestos abatement. That should be completed by Friday. We have clean air going to the lab Thursday morning. We hope to have clean air results come Friday, so then they can continue on with the work in the kitchen. For a 30-day look ahead for phase one site work, continue on with that stormwater drainage system install and piping install. For the building addition work, again, continue on with foundations with the idea that it's completed within the next month, 2 to 3 weeks. Continue on with that CMU masonry install to foundations, and besides continuing on with plumbing underground, start underground for electrical. And then for the phase 1A kitchen renovation, again, complete the abatement, and then after that, the demo contractor will go in there, finish up any miscellaneous selective demo he has to do, and then we can start doing the under slab utilities for the kitchen. This next schedule here, this is Fontaine Brothers, the GC. That's the first submission for what's called a baseline schedule. So within this schedule, you have essentially the contract doc phasing layout, different tasks involved in that phasing, and then the last 5 to 6 pages is what's called a submittal schedule. So the contractor submitting on the materials they plan on installing. We track those dates of submission, dates of approval by design team, so that the material can be procured and on site in the time frame they need to meet the contract schedule. But what I'll do is, from page 1, I'll just step you guys through the big picture stuff on this baseline schedule. As we go through it, you're gonna see the header that's in red that indicates phase 1, phase 2. I'll kind of group it up that way. So on page 1, phase 1, February 7th through the end of June. So essentially that's kind of the mobilization of Fontaine and all the applicable subs. That's, starting the building addition, foundation work and whatnot, and all the phase 1 site work that happens within that building addition footprint. Phase 1A, that's what we're called out as the kitchen renovation. Again, we gave Fontaine the kitchen 2 months early before the end of school, so they could get all the work that needs to get done in there completed before the end of summer, and then that goes through the summer. Phase 2, that includes essentially Fontaine taking over the property to get as much site work done as possible, as we speak about new parking lot areas, new vehicular paths, new bus loop and all that. So phase 2 again starts at the end of June when kids are out, staff are out, and it goes through the end of summer. That phase 2 also includes us taking over the cafeteria. So the idea is when kids come back, staff comes back, they have a new kitchen and a new cafeteria. And moving on through phase 2, the other portion of the site work that's in that is the fire pump house construction that's going to be towards the back side of the property. Phase 3, so once staff and kids get back, we're continuing on with the building addition work. We're continuing on with the site work that's going to be kind of over towards the east side of the property, more towards Maximilian Drive. In phase 3, the idea is phase 3 completes the building addition, which is a February break move-in for staff and students. So that's where you see phase 4 starting February 26th. That's essentially the Monday after February break. So what you have for phase 4 is we get into the existing building and start renovating that area. So what the staff and students will occupy at that time period will be the new addition, and then a renovated kitchen, renovated caf. So phase 4, that goes through the start of the summer. Technically, it goes through the 2018 summer, and that's completing the renovation of the existing building and completing all the site work for essentially the whole project, with a substantial completion come the end of 2018 summer. So again, this is Fontaine's first pass at a baseline schedule. We've, JWA and Colliers, we've sent our submittal review comments to them. So they're gonna be revising this in the next week or so, so we'll be getting a revised one, but essentially this is what is within a baseline schedule for a project like this.
Is anybody taking photographs to put them online so the public can see them?
Yes, we're taking photographs.
And are they going
We're-
to be posted?
We don't post them to the town. We've been providing them to the school, and the school is going to be providing on their website updates and
I haven't seen any. Are
photos.
they up?
I don't think that process has started yet, of
Well,
posting them on the
Jim
website.
and I sit here saying we're trying to get students of choice to come in and we're not telling them anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. We're all looking at each other. I guess no one's gonna do it.
Well, I don't have any school people here.
Yeah, Cheryl's ready and waiting. She's got I think she's got a template set up. There's a link on the district website to the project.
I did see paperwork regarding that they were working on the website,
Yeah.
but when it's gonna be up, I do not know. Oh, I don't want to get into the website. I'm not.
Any other questions on the schedule, or then we can move in just to the finances update? Really, we haven't really gone into finances at all, and we'll be giving you a snapshot of where we stand on the project on the financial side each month as well. But essentially, the bottom line is that our budget was $34.2 million. So far, we have approved invoices that have been submitted into the MSBA ProPay system in the amount of 2.7 and change, so just over $2.7 million. We have also encumbered, aside from the construction contract, we also have encumbered a total of 4.3 plus. So we have encumbered about 30.8 total, if my math is correct on the construction contract plus the encumbered amount. But essentially, right now, we're very early on. We haven't received any applications for payment for the contractor. We're still having them iron out some issues with their schedule of values. We've had a number of submissions that we've made comments on, and then they revise and resubmit. So we've broken it down by all the divisions. We've submitted that to the MSBA for their review and approval. Now it's just getting down to some of those details of the sub breakdown. And that they'll be submitting, well, they submitted a pencil rec already, so we should be submitting their first application for payment to the town, say, in another week or so. I don't recall what the pencil rec was for, but each month those will be submitted. That's our biggest expense exposure as we go forward. The design team, Colliers, review, make sure that it reflects accurately the work that's been done in the field, the material that's been delivered to the site or stored appropriately off-site, and then we'll review it and pass it on to the town for payment.
You're allowing off-site storage?
If it's insured and it's transfer of title, there is a clause in the contract for off-site storage, yes.
Well, I've been involved in 2 cases where there's been off-site storage, it's been insured, and in both cases, the company went bankrupt. And the town that I was involved with in both opportunities only got 50 cents back on the dollar. Is we gonna have a problem with that?
Well, I wasn't involved in those projects, I can't speak to those, but I don't have a problem with those
I
projects,
just,
no.
my question is, do you think you're going to have a problem when someone files bankruptcy in your experience dealing with these contracts? It has happened, and I'm curious, and I'm sitting with the chairman of the finance committee, who's probably got his ears perked up about it now.
Well, they're entitled to by contract, they have not requested any, they haven't requested funds for any stored material, so when it comes to that, we can discuss it, but I don't have any issues with that at this time, no.
Okay, well, send up your radar.
I will alert everybody to send up everybody's radar if and when that time comes. So any other questions on finances?
Nope.
So again, we'll be providing an update as we go and let you know where we are, how much we've expended, what we've incurred, additional encumbered per month. So this past month's period, we've invoices that we've received has been just under $100,000. So once we start getting invoices from the contractor, that'll be significantly different. But really, it's pretty minor outside of the general contractor as far as invoices per month.
Just a financial question on our side. When does it hit our tax bill? Those of us in town.
Next fiscal year. Next
Correct.
fiscal year. December,
December of this year.
when the tax rate is set, yes.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
in case people do.
Yeah, the budget for next year has, I think it's $805,109 in as the first repayment.
Okay. In December.
And the next thing is the groundbreaking. We discussed it a little bit. So it is scheduled for June 20th. And I believe that's going to be at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
The MSBA has been invited. It took a while for them to respond, but they always like to attend these public events. And so Jack McCarthy, the executive director from the MSBA, will be in attendance. Usually he, if requested, he'll speak, but we'll have to work that out with the superintendent and the principal and see what their program is, what they want to do for kind of putting this together. This is kind of their show to run. We can certainly help them and give some thoughts and ideas of what other towns have done. But that's something that we'll have to work on in the next month or so to fine tune.
Is this rain or shine?
I guess it depends on where it is. They can hold it in the cafeteria. It depends on how many, if they're looking to have all the students come. Typically we do it outside. We have done events inside as well.
Okay.
I will say getting the MSBA's calendar and getting them on board, if we do have a rain date, we might miss out on having them be able to attend.
Well, I think you're gonna miss the kids too, because the last day of school is the 22nd, 23rd.
23rd.
So that's why the 20th was picked, so it's rain or shine. Just have to figure out the details with Cheryl and Bill.
Do you typically invite town officials?
Yes, definitely.
Except the moderator.
You should probably be there anyway.
That's right.
I mean, it's
I won't be there.
a public project, public school.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for other town officials to speak, and just to say a few words, or the MSBA and the superintendent, and maybe some, get the kids involved somehow. Very ceremonial, very short. You're having elementary school kids. If you want them involved in there, you don't want it to last too long. You want it to hold their attention for a little bit and then move on. But it's good photo op, publicity for the project.
Right. To Jim's point about PR, it's a good, happy occasion to get some positive press. So,
Just wish it was sooner. Really, I think we blew that opportunity. I wasn't here for last
You
one,
weren't
so I
here,
can't
yeah.
say, but
Yeah.
that's just missed opportunity. because I would hope TV stations would be there, that's what you want, and
Yep.
that's the word out, because even the greater community, there's people go by and say, Jim, what's going on in front of your old school? I said, oh, we don't know. We don't know.
I mean,
We don't
that's
know
easy to
sometimes.
do,
It's
isn't
like,
it?
wow.
A phone call to the station,
Yeah,
that's,
Oh, they'll show up.
that's easy.
No
to-
problem.
yeah.
So it's the,
Easy
it's,
to do.
just to clarify, it's the school's responsibility, so Cheryl and Bill, this is their thing, not this committee organizing that.
I suspect any help that
We kind of turned
a
it
s-
over to
maybe a
them.
Turn it to them,
subgroup
okay.
would like to give. I mean, right now, you know what it's like at this point in the year, I think.
I will give a little heads up.
Yeah, and, you know, as Tim said, we're happy to help with examples, you know, or whatever you want us to
What
do.
typically do.
But, yeah, I mean, this is your opportunity, so.
So September of 2018 will be the first year that students will move into the complex, is that correct?
Yeah.
So it seemed to me that in the spring of next year, any events that the school committee could think about planning and around the school and featuring the building would be a good time to do that.
For sure.
I mean, we have as a committee here, we have our main thing is oversight at this point, but when it comes to, I don't wanna get in between the management of the school and the project, you know? I mean, we don't need to get in the way of, like, the people running the school and stuff like that. If they need our help, we still oversee the project, we still have contributions and stuff like that, but, yeah, it's their school's territory, so.
Yeah, there are other opportunities as we go that we can give you a heads up of, you know, when the structure is up to do kind of that final beam raising. You can do certainly an open house, once the new addition is open and we have occupancy. You know, that would be in the spring, so prior to school getting out, you know, if they're moving in February, let them live in there for a month or so and get some art up on the wall and that sort of thing, and then have an open house, which will be nice. So there will be other opportunities to kind of promote the project.
When are the weekly job meetings?
Thursdays at 1.
The what meeting, the what meetings, Jim?
So they have a weekly job meeting where these people attend and the contractor, and they talk about schedule problems and everything else. And the architect's there and solves all the problems in the world.
No problems on our project.
I hope you're right.
Everything's working out well with the kids and the buses and pickup and all that after you got through all that? I've not heard anything, so.
I can reply to that, yeah, it's been very well. Dave Colliers has done an excellent job
Good work.
for signs, and the first couple of days was a little hectic, just
Yeah.
because it was brand new, but after that, I haven't had really any problems.
Good, good to hear.
Yeah, I think if people once they get used to the new traffic pattern, and so any change is always gonna take a couple days or
The next
couple
traffic
weeks.
pattern will be the direct road in. That's gonna be a little bit of a change, but,
Off to a shoe.
yep, the road cut.
Which should simplify it a little bit,
Yes, it should.
having another opportunity.
Yep, so if it goes as smoothly as it did, it should have no problems.
Where does voting take place next Monday?
High school.
High school?
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully people will realize that.
To get there.
At least it's on the same campus.
Right, yeah.
All right, Helen, do you have something for us?
Sure, just a few bullet points, topics. The well permit and water distribution, just to report that the permit is in process with the DEP, you know, taking into account their statutory limits for amount of time they have to review. We're expecting it hopefully before, but at the latest by June 18th. So that seems to be moving along. In addition, the water distribution change, those proposal requests, that's what we issued to Fontaine to explain to them, you know, the change and how we're routing the water line and the fact that we didn't need the water treatment system. That's been issued. In addition, another proposal request for the additional work to see what that would cost to replace the water line between East Meadow and the junior senior high, which we discussed at the last meeting. is also in to Fontaine, and hopefully we'll get some numbers back soon. So that all seems to be moving along. I don't know if Tim or Phil have anything to add with respect to well work and,
No, that sums it up.
okay.
When is the approximate start date on the road? Where you're digging the trench?
Well, I mean, we technically have to wait for DEP to give us,
Okay.
the permit,
Do
so,
we have a,
well, worst case is mid-June.
Wait, are you talking about the road from 202 into?
no, from the
He's talking about
well?
the trenching.
From the
Oh, the
well?
trenching, yeah.
okay.
Just so I can give everybody a heads
Oh,
up,
we'll
that's gonna be
give you-
using the
Yeah.
fields
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, same, it's waiting for the permit,
Yeah.
yeah.
There is a lot of, just I was gonna say, just site-wise, there's a lot of activity on the site contractor's plate for the summer. So, they are looking for opportunities to get a jump on things, so
Right, well,
we're,
we have, a lot of kids coming up for DARE during the summer, using the fields, so I just wanna make sure everybody's aware of that, they're gonna stay left to the high
Oh, yeah,
school.
yep, we'll give you heads up on everything, yep.
yeah, so where there's opportunities, and we can get some work done, it's good. They're being, thinking ahead and realizing they have a lot to do this summer, so if anything we can get done ahead will be great. But we're coordinating with the school, making sure that, it don't impact, the school activities in any way or any negative way, so, and we'll continue to do that.
Technology, the third technology meeting with that subcommittee, that's Cheryl, Bill, David Lukaskevitz, and Lori Jewett, occurred the end of April. Right now, we're, pretty much on budget with the numbers, and we're moving into a phase where we're actually, zeroing in on what products that we want to specify for procurement. The intent is to purchase 4 laptop carts this spring, so that in the fall, they'll be able to start to slowly roll out the change. I think it would be 1 cart per grade, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And on the 16th, I think one of the reps from one of the companies is gonna come and do a demo for that subcommittee. So that's moving along, and then what'll happen thereafter is the specifications will be written over the summer, and then the procurement will start in the fall with, again, 2 deliveries, one in the, for the February opening of the addition, and then, of course, at the end of the project, August 2018. So any questions on technology? And then school sign, I have actually surprisingly good news to report on the sign. At the planning board meeting a week ago, May 2nd, they approved the whole thing. At the last meeting, I reported that we were told we needed 2 permits, one for the size, a second a variance for the illumination. But on second thought and another look at the zoning bylaw, the planning board determined that it was one-stop shopping with them. And again, they surprised us a bit. They came around on the illumination. We did decrease the size of the sign a bit in response to their concerns. So, happy to say, the sign has been approved.
Amber lighting though, right?
Amber lighting. Yep. So, that's all we've got in terms of new news.
Okay. Anything else? All right, next meeting date, June 13th.
That's 4 days from today.
That's the night after town meeting.
Oh, I can hardly wait. All right, okay.
I think that's probably good to have it before the groundbreaking in case there are any
Yeah.
last minute things that this committee needs to be involved with.
Sounds good.
All right?
Motion adjourned,
Motion.
second?
Second?
All right, those in favor? Aye.